What if your IoT based smart vacuum cleaner and smart water purifier, industrial factory sensors, and different workloads in the different clouds like Azure, AWS, Google, Kubernetes on premises? Even if your edge AI solutions could all be managed like single system. Let me explain how it works. Hi, this is Murli Dhulam, founder of ITS Code Private Limited, architect, trainer in the area of DevSecOps, Azure Cloud, AWS Cloud, Kubernetes with AI ML IoT integration. Till now, I have trained more than 5,000 plus students and 1,000 plus students working with top MNCs. Today, we are going to discuss how to set up unified operations, management, compliance, security with our Azure Arc. So, like different workloads, like different clouds, Azure, AWS, Google, on-premises, and Kubernetes, as well as edge devices, also AI scenarios. Let us see that. What is Azure Arc? Before discussing what is Azure Arc, first we need to observe what is adaptive cloud. Instead of using static cloud, we can use adaptive cloud. Adaptive cloud dynamically it will adjust resources and configuration to optimize performance, cost, security, and compliance. Adapt by unifying team, sites, and systems. Also, simply you can say one operations, applications, data model, and we can secure, manage, modernize our IT resources from cloud to edge. Now let us discuss about what is Azure Arc. So with the help of Azure Arc, we are not only managing Azure resources, we can also manage other resources like Azure, AWS, Google, on-premises, Kubernetes, and edge other devices also. So here you can see these scenarios also. Hybrid and multi-cloud management, infrastructure and virtualization, application and data services. Okay. So also let us go back to our one more section here. So these are all simple scenario, you can see that. So some VMware, AWS, and other services, and also data centers, as well as our IoT scenarios. Let us try to observe more detailed manner. So here you can see that. These are all different scenarios you can see for Azure Arc. Azure Arc overview architecture you can see. So here you can see multi-cloud service, which are managed by our Arc-enabled services. Similar way, on-premises service components, right? So VMware and so on services, right? So similar way, operational edge-related devices. These are all things will be managed by our Azure Arc solutions. So unified operations, management, compliance, and security and governance. So we can take our Azure resources help in terms of like Azure Monitor, security, policies, as well as log analytics. These are all services we can take the help. Also, let us see Kubernetes environment with Azure Arc. Let us say we are managing different Kubernetes clusters. Azure Kubernetes, Google Kubernetes, and EKS like AWS on-premises. These are all things will be simplified with the Azure Arc hybrid management tool, hybrid cloud management tool. And also let us see other scenarios like we are trying to run some SQL servers for disaster recovery. So here also you can utilize these scenarios. Just go through this scenario here. So here you can see primary data center as well as secondary data center. So here we are using Azure Arc enabled Kubernetes. These are all scenarios related to our SQL managed primary as well as secondary. Similar way also here also you can see that. And also just see Azure Arc enabled offering interfaces. What type of interfaces we are going to use? Azure Portal, CLI, PowerShell, Admin Center. These are all things we can use to manage our Azure Arc environment. Also, other services you see. Suppose if you are trying to monitor your workloads, Arc related workloads, also automation, some scripts as well, security, also the sensitive information storing, right? As well as log analytics. So these are all things you can see. So one more important thing, managing IoT edge devices. So these devices spread across the public domain. So we need to secure these devices also. So here we can start using our Azure Arc as well. These are all devices, Azure IoT devices. And here this is a service called Azure IoT Hub. And also just see, so we can monitor as well as these devices as well. Okay. These are all different devices you can see. Okay. Next, let us see. So this is the framework we can see, our IoT based operations. Azure IoT operations, which are enabled by our Azure Arc. So you can see these are the factory-based solutions, factory-based devices, and these are all comes under edge. Here we are placing some edge devices, and also you can see here our Azure services as well. And also you can observe one of the sample application like hypermarket. So technology stack you can see. So just see here local infrastructure, different devices you can see, some cameras as well as sensors and different devices, right? Also here you can see these are all areas. This is the example application, shopper insights as well as Gen AI commercial and operation assistance, right? Speech to text as well as edge to cloud video analytics, predictive inventory. So what is whoever managing this supermarket, right? So we'd like to predict the inventory as well as operational analysis. Let us say next week, last 10 days or last month, 1 month. So based on the metrics, we can predict our next future forecast as well. We can observe our future forecast as well. So also here you can see different infrastructure, Azure infrastructure, different workloads you can see here, right? You can imagine different Kubernetes clusters spread across the different environments. Similar way, some Ubuntu and Rancher clusters, also Kubernetes on-premises servers, right? As well as our Azure different workloads. These are all comes under our Azure Arc infrastructure. So you see, Azure Arc enabled servers also. And second thing, we need security and operation for this entire hypermarket or supermarket. You can see security and operations. We need Azure monitor policies to set up best standards, right? So, or to follow compliance, we need to set up policies. Also, if you are trying to store some sensitive information, we need Key Vault. Also, to monitor security issues, we need Defender, as well as for dashboard monitoring and dashboards, as well as cost and management, FinOps related. So we need these all these tools. Similar way, data and IoT. Right? For Fabric, these are all IoT operations. We can use it. And other one, let us say AI and computer vision. Right? So you see, edge to cloud video analytics. You can use our Azure OpenAI service, right? And other models also there, other service also there. And after that, we need to enable our CI/CD process also, or DevSecOps CI/CD process also. And this is the complete full stack you can see. Currently, here we are focusing our Azure Arc. So in this stack, we are trying to use our Azure Arc. We are trying to manage different workloads across the different environments, cloud, Kubernetes, edge, and AI different solutions. We can simplify with our Azure Arc here. Also, just try to observe some examples as well, some use cases. Great, different case studies are there. So this vendor, so you see him, they manage 500 servers across different environments. Also mix of Windows and Linux servers and different on-premises data center and private cloud, public cloud. They simplified with Azure Arc as well. Till now, we observed what is Azure Arc and we observed some features as well. Now, let us try to set up Azure Arc and let us see here. So here we are trying to set up. So you can see Azure Cloud. So here you can see Azure Cloud is there. And also we have some workloads, other cloud as well. Let us say some other cloud like AWS. So here you can see some AWS workloads also there. So now you can see they're all workloads. Now here we have Arc service, Azure Arc service. So here also we have some servers. Some servers are there. Okay. So here we have some servers. Also within the AWS also some servers are there. As of now, I'm taking only AWS, and you can also use other servers as well. Google, on-premises, Kubernetes, all servers also you can add. Now I would like to onboard servers to my Azure Arc. So first, let us try to create connector between these two. Okay. So here, let us create connector. Then let us try to onboard the servers with our Azure Arc, so that we can manage all the servers under our hybrid cloud management tool called Azure Arc. Let us see that. How to enable this scenario? Let us see that. For this, here we can see our AWS servers. These are all AWS servers. Currently, we have AWS servers. Two servers are there. So these two servers, let us say Web Server 1 and Web Server 2. These two servers are there. Web Server 1 as well as Web Server 2. These two servers are there. Now, so now I would like to onboard the servers with my Azure Arc. Just go to Azure. So this is the Azure. So you can see Azure. Also just go to the services right? So here you can see under services, right? So somewhere it is there, Azure Arc, hybrid and cloud management. Under hybrid and multi-cloud management, so you can see somewhere it is there, Azure Arc, right? Azure Arc, you can see that. Now, so let me open Arc service, Azure Arc. Okay. Now I'm trying to create Azure Arc. Okay. So here I'm trying to create my Azure Arc. So let me add, let us try to observe resources first. All Azure Arc resources. Currently, we don't have any resources, right? And also just see, you can add different machines, right? Also Kubernetes clusters like Google, uh, AKS, EKS, on-premises different Kubernetes clusters, right? And also just see different environments. Suppose if you are trying to accelerate your performance, you can go for Azure Local. Also, you can add your VMware vCenter servers. Also, you can see SCVM management servers also. Also, you can see data services, different data services. These are all things also you can add to your Azure Arc, right? And also just see IoT. Just now we observed, right? IoT operations. You can onboard all your IoT related environments with our Arc, right? And also just see application services. These are all application services we can onboard with our Azure Arc, right? And management, let us say here we need to enable multi-cloud connector. Just now here we observed, right? We need to have a connector, multi-cloud connector, right? So first let us go back to our Azure Arc. Okay. So here let me minimize it. And here you can minimize. Now, so just go to host environment, Azure Arc resources, just click machines. Now I'm trying to add machines, right? So let us observe these options as well. Kubernetes, let us say if you are trying to add Kubernetes. So here it is showing two options. Create Kubernetes cluster with Azure Arc and add Kubernetes cluster with Azure Arc, right? These two options you can see, right? Now I'm trying to add my machines, AWS machines. Add machine, connect and manage existing servers or virtual machine from any of your environment, right? Whatever environment is there. So just see, here it is showing multiple options. Single server, multiple servers, Windows servers with installer, AWS servers, right? And update management. Now let us try to add servers. So here you can add servers. Now you need to select one resource group also. Let me select some resource group. I'm trying to select South Central US, or you can use any other account also. Let me select it. So here, let me select South Central US, or you can use East US also. That's fine. Right? Let me select East US. Right? Also, you need to understand region compatibility also. While selecting Arc, what type of regions it is supporting, you can see Azure Arc region availability. So you can also see this region also, right? Product availability, right? So you can see. So you can select your product. So view product availability. So whatever service you need, we can select it here. Let us say Arc I need, right? Azure Arc, right? So just see region compatibility. Arc enabled Kubernetes cluster. So based on that, Arc enabled service, right? So you can select whatever region you are selecting. Currently, I'm selecting what is the region here? East US. Let us try to observe. So just select US, right? US, let us select. Okay, East US. Currently, I'm using this service, right? Just see this. Okay, make sure just try to check this table before onboarding your service, onboarding your Arc. Now let us select AWS connector. I'm trying to create connector. Okay, AWS connector. Okay, so after that, I'm selecting East US region, and now we need to fetch our AWS cloud account details, right? So this account details, our AWS cloud account details. So let us try to fetch these details. Okay. Currently, we have only one account. We don't want to use multiple accounts. Let me fetch this information. I would like to skip this session here. Let me stop my session. Just go to AWS organization. Here you can fetch your account details. Now here I mentioned my account details. First section here I mentioned AWS account details. After that, solutions. So here two scenarios are there. Inventory, see resources from different cloud in a single inventory. Right? Arc onboarding. Add Azure Arc to use Azure Management Service in your EC2 instance. Currently, we are adding EC2, right? So you can add your permissions based on your requirement. You can add your permissions. So how many services you are going to allow? Just see, instead of allowing all the services, you can select only specific services. Whatever services you need, just see here I selected all services, or you can select only specific services, whatever services you need. As of now, I'm selecting all services, right? And also just select based on your permissions. So least privilege access. Okay. And also just see sync time, right? Recur every 1 hour, right? Based on your requirement, you can also enable sync as well. Okay. Now save. Similar way, easy to read as well. So let us add. Here also you can customize it. Currently, I'm using public endpoint, and if you are working with your real-time environment, you can go for proxy URL as well. Here also you can see sync time as well. Okay. So now here we are trying to enable our connectivity between Azure and AWS. You can see. Okay. Now, so just go back and click next. And next, I need to download my template. Okay. So here I need to download my template. Let us do that. Let me download template. This is the cloud formation template. So within the AWS cloud, so here you can generate AWS cloud formation template. So that resources it will make it ready for Azure Arc. So let us do that. Right? Just go to this section. Here you can download template. So here I downloaded template. This is a template you can see, template 1.json. Right? Let me show you this template also. Here I downloaded my template to my local folder and downloads. Now I'm trying to take this template file as well. So next. So once you download this template, now just go to your AWS website, and there you need to create our cloud formation stack. Just go to AWS, and here I downloaded JSON file, right? Cloud formation JSON. Now just go to AWS site. So here you can create stack. Just go to AWS site. So here you can type cloud formation. Okay, cloud formation here you can type. Okay. Now just try to create stack. Create stack. So for this stack, we already downloaded one file. So here we already download this file to our local system. Right. So just select it. So choose an existing template. Right. Currently, we have a file on local system, right? Let us try to use it. Okay. So let me use it. Choose file. And this is the file template. And you can select it. Okay. Once you select this file, okay. Next, right? Just mention some stack name. Azure Arc stack. Okay. So these are all parameters you can see. Different roles you can see. Default roles are there. Just try to review all these roles. And next, okay, there should not be any letters. Let me change it. There should not be any gap, it seems. Right? Now you can see optional role is there. Suppose if you want, you can create a role and roll back. If any stack failures, you can roll back all stack resources. Okay? As of now, I'm using default values, and also I acknowledge CloudFormation might create IAM resources with custom names. So let us do that. Okay? So, but before we implementing all these solutions for your real-time environment, we need to understand all these roles as well, whatever policies, your permissions you are giving. So next, and these are all input values you can see. These are all parameters, right? So let us submit. It may take some time, 1 minute time. So you can see. You can also see the status as well, stack status as well. These are all activities in progress now. Just go back to stack, and here you can see still it is in progress. Now you can see our stack is completed, right? So here it is deployed successfully. Okay? Azure stack completed within AWS, right? Cloud formation script. Now, just go back to your Azure portal. Right? So now here we completed second task, right? So we downloaded AWS Cloud Formation template and we created stack. With the help of this template, we created stack. And also you can see this picture. Here we downloaded template and we created stack. Now just go back to Azure. Okay. So here you can mention some display name, AWS connector, Arc connector. Okay. Next, and create. It may take some time. Now here you can watch the progress under resource group. So this is the resource group, AWS resource group. Just go to resource group. So here you can watch the progress. Under deployments, here you can watch the progress. Okay. Deployments. So you can see this. This is the one. And also what is the resource here? AWS connector. Right. So here you can see this is the connector. Also you can observe same scenario. So just go to your Arc. There itself you can see this. There is an option called multi-cloud connectors, right? So this one you can see, right? Multi-cloud, also site manager. This is a preview mode, custom locations. So these are all scenarios you can see. There is a concept called Azure Local, right? So we can manage our locations as well, multiple locations, right? You see multi-cloud connectors. This is the connector you can see. Okay, this is a connector, right? Now you can scan your resources. Resources nothing but this AWS cloud servers, right? Now here we onboarded connector. Now you can scan your resources. Then these resources will be displayed in this Arc as well. Okay. So just try to scan now. Okay. This will start scan for each solution enabled in the connector, because here we enabled all the AWS services. But real time we should not enable that. Right? Confirm. Now you can see the progress as well. Right? Arc onboarding solution scan succeeded and inventory scan started. Now you can see our resources here. So you can see this, right? So overview. Also you can see resources. Right? Scan completed. Right? So these are all resources in the which are there in the AWS, right? Just see, these are all different resources in the AWS. Elastic IPs and VPCs and some keys. You can say these are all resources in the AWS. Now we are able to see all the resources within this our Azure Arc, right? Also just see, there is a connector, right? Under connector we are able to see resources. Also just try to observe resource visualizer as well. This is the connector we placed. Okay, just go back to your Azure Arc, right? So here we enable this option, right? Just see, these two machines are, you see, these two instances IDs, 7A C5, right? So these machines you can see. Okay, so 7A C5, same machines, right? Same machines we are able to manage through our Arc, right? So in this way you can see that. In this way we can onboard our AWS servers to our Azure as well. Just click these servers as well. Just try to click the server. Okay. Now this is the server now, or AWS server. Now we are able to manage these AWS servers to our Azure Arc, right? So let us say a similar way, if you are having some other cloud like Google, as well as on-premises, right? On-prem. Okay. as well as Kubernetes. Okay. Some Kubernetes, different Kubernetes like on-premises and different Kubernetes. Also Google Cloud, and also edge devices. Google edge devices, IoT based devices, smart devices. So you see, so these are all things you can manage with your Arc, edge, IoT. Let us say some environment like some retail store. There are some POS machines, point of sale, store, POS machines. Okay. These are all things simply you can onboard with your environment, Azure Arc. Initially, we discussed, right? Set up unified management operations compliance across your environments, right? So just see here. This is the environment. They are all different instances you can see, right? You can enable monitoring, security, policies, all these things you can enable. We can utilize our Azure features, right? So here you can utilize your Azure features. Also, you can start connecting this instance as well. Okay. So connect in browser, enter ID, authentication, different mechanisms are there. Right? So in this way, you can see these machines. As of now, we added only virtual machines, AWS, but similar way, we can add other scenarios also. And also we can onboard our IoT solutions or different IoT solutions. Here you can add it, right? Also different applications, container apps. These are all things you can add, function apps, right? So single console, multiple clouds. So here you can start using that. Now come back to example. So this is a supermarket or a hypermarket. So here some devices are there, IoT based devices are there. So we need to monitor all these devices, IoT edge devices, as well as our servers and components. Let us see particularly IoT devices. So we need to make sure configuration security rules should be up to date. Right? We can integrate our DevOps CI/CD process. Also, we can onboard these resources to our Kubernetes. Right? In this way, we can simplify the process. Now, with the help of our Azure Arc, we can simplify multi-cloud environment, or you can say hybrid cloud environment. If any organization, they are using Azure Cloud, AWS Cloud, different clouds, and as well as different edge devices, right? AI solutions, all these things we can simplify with our Azure Arc hybrid cloud management tool. Please see the documentation below. If you like this video, please share it and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you all.